Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zanana Rose and this is Natural Living with Zanana, where I share information, tips, and product reviews to help you live a more healthy, natural, sustainable, and non-toxic lifestyle. And today I'm coming to you with Xtrema ceramic cookware. It's non-toxic, all ceramic cookware. And it is glazed, but the glaze is completely heavy metal free, no lead, no cadmium. It's tested. You can see that on their website. And today I'm talking with you about the Versa pot. I have two Versa pots here and I'm going to cook. So you get to cook with me today, which is really fun. I'm going to cook these lamb neck slices and lamb shoulder in this Versa pot. Now, this Versa pot is the 2.5 quart. It's a little small, I would say. This recipe actually combines both the carrots and the meat in the one pot, but I'm going to split it into two just so we can use these. I'm actually dreaming of getting the 5 quart, or maybe it's 5.5 quart Versa pot, and I may get that next. We'll see. But I'm going to talk to you about these two. We're going to cook with these today. I'm also going to talk with you about the 9-inch signature skillet, and I've cooked with this as well, some scrambled eggs. I have some footage of that for you. I have footage of cleaning it, so we'll talk about how it works to wash it, clean it, if it truly is non-stick or not. But first, let's get right into the cooking. I've got all the ingredients laid out here, as you can see. I'm going to put a little of this beef tallow into the carrots here. It already has salt and pepper. We're going to add some thyme to it. We're going to roast these in the oven at about 400. And then at the same time, I'm going to brown this lamb in the Versa pot directly on the stove. This is the amazing thing about the Versa pot, the Xtrema cookware, is that you can cook with it on the stove, and then you can just transfer it right to the oven. So it's perfect for dishes like these. So I'm going to brown the meat first. I have salt and pepper on the meat. I'm going to brown it in the Versa pot. Then I'm going to remove the meat and saute up the rest of the ingredients. And then we're going to put it all in and cook it at 350 in the oven for a couple of hours. And we'll bring it out and see how it worked. I do want to show you before we get started, I've used my Versa pot multiple times, and you can see that it has, barely a few little scratches on it, not deep or anything like that. This really wears very well, and does have a bit of a non-stick type of glaze over it. So far so good with my use of these pots, and I think let's just get started with cooking right away. Okay, here we are. I've got the pan heating up. I've got a little high. We want to actually heat it at medium heat, but I do want my meat to sizzle when I pour it in. Do you hear that? So Xtrema actually recommends heating. Ooh, there we go. So now we'll brown the meat. They actually recommend preheating your pan just a little bit and doing that on medium heat. So I've got mine maybe just a little bit high. I'm on 6 on my stove right now. I turned it back down a little. I think I'm going to have to do just 3 of these for now, and then I'll add the other one in and brown it in just a minute. Now, this ceramic cookware does conduct heat pretty well. So you can purchase these little silicone handles that you can put on the pan here like this while you're cooking. And it is a very even heat. So that's one of the great things about this cookware, is the evenness of the heating. And like I said, I'm cooking some nice lamb shoulder. And then I also have some neck slices in here. Now, I get my meat from Scio, Oregon. I have a meat CSA. We get chicken, lamb, and pork from the Anchor Ranch farm in Scio. That's another thing that's really important to our health, is making sure that we're sourcing our meat very well. And sourcing the meat and finding good meat is equally as important as finding good cookware, because what we cook in is also going to affect our health, and we need to make sure that our cookware, we're cooking in something that has Teflon, PFAS, or heavy metals, then we are obviously affecting our health, and it's almost canceling out the work that we're doing in, buying the good meat and eating the healthy organic vegetables and that sort of thing. So let's see how we're doing here. It's starting to get a little brown. I'll flip that over. So I'm just going to brown this up, and I'll be right back, everyone. Okay, now for sauteing the rest of the ingredients to put over our meat. I turned the pan off. It was smoking quite a bit, so I'm going to have to report back to you at some point about the smoke point with this cookware. I'm not sure if it's just how I was cooking with it, or if they really do heat up more than the other Dutch ovens that I've used. But if anybody has had this experience, please let me know down in the comments section. Let me know if you have Xtrema and how you are enjoying using it, and what experiences you've had. If you've noticed anything with the heat and the smoke point. I'm going to add a little bit more of the beef tallow. Beef tallow is an excellent fat to use in your Xtrema pans, and just in general, actually. Xtrema recommends that you use beef tallow, butter, avocado oil. You can use olive oil, but I obviously wouldn't recommend it for this type of cooking, because we want something that is going to be able to withstand higher heat. I do have a little bit of browning at the bottom of this pan, so I'm going to report back to you about how it cleans at the end of it as well. So I'm adding my onions here first, and if we were doing the carrots in the same pan, I would add the carrots in as well, but like we said, this pan is just a little bit small. I think it's going to work fine, but I would normally use the larger Dutch oven for this dish and include the vegetables in it. So back to the oils. Yes, that is what Xtrema says. And they do also say that for a lot of items, it is a good idea to use a generous amount of oil while cooking, just to maintain that non-stick feature. So I've got the onion sauteing. Now this is hot, like we said. So we've got these little handles that you can use. Here's my onions sauteing here in the pan. It's looking pretty good. There's a little browning over on this side. I'll deglaze that once I add the rest of the items in. I'm adding in some celery here. Now, we have a garden, and I have 7 chickens, you guys. That is one thing that has happened in the last few years since I've been away from my channel. We moved to a new house. We remodeled it. You can see this is my new kitchen. So I do have a garden. I grow a lot of produce in my garden. Celery is a little bit of a funny one to grow, but it actually turned out pretty well. I still use it in dishes like this, and soups, and bone broth. I make my own bone broth. I make bone broth probably about once a week from chicken. Not my chickens, of course, but from the chicken from Anchor Ranch Farm that I get. And these are tomatoes, the last of the tomatoes from our garden. So we're going to add those in here as well. That'll be next. And I've got thyme from the garden also. For these types of dishes, I usually just leave it right on the sprig, and then you can pull out the whole stem at the end of it. So we're just heating this. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I've got it on 8 right now. So we're just heating this up. And let's add the garlic next. So we've got onions, tomatoes, garlic. I'll put a link to this recipe down below in the description, so you can get the recipe. This is the first time I've made it, so we're in this together, you guys, but it seems like a pretty foolproof braising type of recipe. I do a lot of braising. I really like braising. I will do it in my Instant Pot slow cooker. I have one of those. I will do it in my Dutch oven. And right now I'm using this as my Dutch oven. So Xtrema has a bunch of other items on their website. Like I said, I did do the program. I was telling you about this last time. So Xtrema has a really great program. If you crack or damage, break any of your Xtrema after you have purchased it, they have their forever replacement program, and you can take a picture of the damage, describe it to them, and send that to them, and they will replace your first item completely free. Now, if you broke more than one, the next item is, I think, 30% off for replacement. I broke one of mine. I wrote to them, I did not have the photo, so make sure you do have the photo if you do break yours. I didn't know about that, but they are giving me a $60 credit towards something else. So I'm trying to figure out what I would like to get next. They have so many great items. They have bakeware, they have loaf pans, they have muffin tins, ceramic muffin pans. They have the Dutch ovens, like I was mentioning. They have these beautiful teapots. So they have a lot of really amazing ceramic cookware. The company has been around for quite a while. It's a family-owned company. So they really just stand behind their work as well. So far I really like that about the company. So now I've added my bone broth, my homemade bone broth, to the pan here. I'm just letting that mix with the tomato paste. And next we'll add a little bit of red wine. Then we'll put these lamb necks and lamb shoulder steaks right on in to the oven. Wow, this is going to be pretty amazing, guys. So we're just going to let this cook for a few more minutes before we add the lamb back in. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and prepare these carrots. There's lots of recipes on the Xtrema website for dishes that work great for these VersaPots, their Dutch ovens, and all of their other amazing non-toxic ceramic cookware. And so I noticed a bunch of other vegetable recipes. So that's why I thought, well, why don't I just simply roast some vegetables in here? Roasting vegetables is a super healthy way to eat your vegetables. And it's great because you just chop it up, stick it in the oven, and then boom, take it right out. I also love steaming, of course. And they do have, I noticed some steaming baskets on their website so that you can actually steam right in these VersaPots as well. So now my broth here is boiling. I'm just cooking down a little bit of this wine to give it that rich, rich flavor. And what I'm going to do to the carrots, I'm just going to add the thyme that I picked from the garden. And I've chopped this up just roughly. So we're going to add the thyme into this. And then I'm going to put some dollops of the beef tallow right on top. Now you could use butter as well. I tend to use a little bit more beef tallow. The butter, dairy doesn't always agree with me, so I tend to use beef tallow, avocado oil. I like to use olive oil for salads and things that we're not cooking at high temperatures. You know, more low heat or no heat is best for olive oil. And then I also like to use coconut oil for baking and making my granola and those sorts of things. So here we are. We're bubbling away with this sauce here. So I think we're just about ready to put the lamb right back into here. This is looking really good. Okay, I've got the carrots all ready to go into the oven. That looks really nice. And we've got lids for each of these VersaPots. We have lids for each of these VersaPots, which is just amazing because you can put it right in the oven just like that. Ooh, this smells so good, you guys. I wish you were here to smell how amazing this is. It's gonna turn out so delicious. All right, I'm gonna put these lamb pieces back into our dish here. I think they're actually gonna fit really nicely. And they are submerged with sauce. Ooh, perfect, perfect. I'm gonna submerge them and put a little sauce over each one, and probably about halfway through, I'll flip the steaks as well. All right, we're gonna put the lid on each one of them, and we'll put them in the oven and let them bake. Okay, one thing that I want to tell you, I have a GE Cafe stove like you can see here, and it has 2 ovens, which is absolutely amazing. So my top oven is small, I use it a lot. I'll put the carrots in there at 400. And then my lower oven, the big oven, it is, you can make a turkey in it, you can take out the racks, but I do want to show you that this Versa pan would not fit in my top oven because it is a little bit tall. So that is one thing to take note of, that I do have to use it in the larger oven. Okay, friends, we're back. This is it. The dinner is finished. It's been about 2 hours, and I'm just going to show you here. Here are the roasted carrots. Look at how nicely they roasted and browned. They look so great. They're delicious. They're perfectly tender. And then in this pot, dun da da, here is our beautiful lamb. Look at that. It looks amazing. It cooked really nicely. I'm gonna pull one of these out here. The shoulder steaks seem like they are finished and super tender. Whoops. I think I'm gonna have to put the neck slices in for a little bit longer, but we'll see. They don't seem quite as tender as the shoulder because they are a little bit thicker. So I may put those back in for a minute, but let's cut this open here. Woo! Falling apart, super tender. Let me taste it. My husband is going to be so excited. He loves lamb. Wow. This is melt in your mouth, guys. Delicious. Well, I'm going to put the lid back on for a minute to keep my dinner warm while I talk to you a little bit more about Xtrema. As you can see, excuse me, finishing my bite. As you can see, this cookware is oven to table. I mean, look at how beautiful it is. You could just bring it right to the table if you're having guests and serving people. It's going to stay warm for a while in this. You can see that I have it on top of trivets. So these trivets you can purchase at the Xtrema website as well. So that is wonderful. I don't think I mentioned while I was cooking that you do need to use wooden utensils. I would recommend, they say silicone too. So something soft. You can't be scraping with metal utensils. It is ceramic, so it needs tender loving care, the type of tender loving care that ceramic cookware needs. As I mentioned before, I did scramble eggs in this pan. It worked great. It works really, really well for that. I scrambled eggs a couple of times in here. Remember, part of what I do on this YouTube channel is I do the work and the research for you. So I'm cooking with these items. I'm looking up all of the information about each of them. Like I said, these are non-toxic. They have no Teflon. They're Teflon free, no PFAS, no PTFE in it. And they seem to cook really well. They clean really well. If you do want to hear more about all of that, you can take a look at my previous video where I unboxed this signature skillet. I will put a link to that down below so that you can watch that and get that information as well. All right, I think that's it, friends. I sure hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you did enjoy it, please remember to like and subscribe. I would love to have you here in this community. And make a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video, what types of topics you would like to see on this channel. And if you want more Cook With Me videos like this, then definitely let me know. And thanks so much to Xtrema. It was really fun getting to use this and display exactly how this cookware works. Oh, and by the way, down below in the description, I will put links to the Xtrema website. They are affiliate links. I will get a small percentage of any sale that you make. And that is just a wonderful way at no cost to you to support this YouTube channel and bring more of these types of videos to you. So be sure to check that out, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. All right, thanks, friends. I'll see you in the new year. Hope you have very happy holidays, and stay healthy, everyone. Bye-bye.